Welcome to Thailand, 6:50 a.m. in the morning, and they just rang my door because my breakfast is here. Let's go get it. Every morning, 7 a.m. or so, they deliver my breakfast here. A little early, but I like waking up at this time. Bread. So they give me a big plate of breads and toasts, granola, cheese plate with nuts and fig and grape, and then a fruit plate with guava and local fruits and apple juice and coffee. But what's cool about the apple juice is the apple juices here taste like they're made from green apples instead of red apples. So that's pretty cool.
Welcome to my prison for the next 2 weeks. I'm serious about that. I am in Thailand right now. I just flew out here. Pain in the butt. Seriously difficult to get to Thailand because of all the COVID restrictions. And one of the restrictions is when you get here, you have to quarantine yourself in what's called an ASQ. So that's where I am. Look at that light right there. Too wide angle. Can't do anything. I was lucky enough to get one that has a balcony, so technically I can go outside and get a little bit of fresh air, but I'm completely stuck and stranded in this room for 15 days, and I have to go through a bunch of COVID tests and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm gonna give you kind of a tour of my place, and then I'm gonna show you how I travel with matcha, and it's kind of a ridiculous setup, but it works. I think my food is here. Oh, great. Perfect timing, right as I was filming. This is my dinner, so they actually send you all of your food, everything they provide for you, and yes, you have to pay for this. I got a chocolate cake with gold on it, chicken, chili, rice with an egg. But yeah, there's my dinner. The one cool thing about being in the quarantine like this is it gives me a lot of time to work on different projects. So I'll show you my little matcha station over here. So I have my whisk here, my little tool cup, my little scooper. Let's get brewing, let's do it. Turn that on. Is your water? Yep, there's water in it. By the way, guys, I do post on my YouTube like once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that. If you want to follow me a little closer, you can check out my Instagram. It's just my name. So for my matcha, I actually brought it all with me. I have it all in the fridge down here. Got a whole bunch of it. I mean, a whole bunch. There's tons of it. And I'll do reviews on the matcha eventually, but the one that I'm drinking right now, Uma no Mukashi by Ippudo Matcha. It's fine. It's a little more bitter than I would like, but it has a serious chocolate hit to it. It's like green peas, spring pea tips, a little bit of asparagus, and also cacao. So all of that together is pretty nice. Now I don't have a bowl, so I'm just using these stupid cups, but you know, traveling with these two things is not too much of an issue. So let's see. I'm not gonna warm the bowl because why? Gram of matcha in there. And while I sift that, I'm just gonna pre-warm my whisk here. And what I'm actually gonna do is start off with some room temp water because the boiling water is just too hot. I'm not whisking it necessarily. I'm just trying to get the matcha and water incorporated into a slurry. Now I'm gonna add my hot water. Not a lot. I guess in total, I'm going for 30 to 60 grams of matcha in there. Not a lot of room to whisk. Again, it's kind of stupid, I know. All right, I got my matcha to have with my dinner. This is the ASQ Life. If I don't have COVID, it'd be extra nice.
Take it easy, so easy for you. Take it easy, sir. Take it easy. That's it. Thank you. Wake up. Thank you so much.
Whew. So have to do that twice. That's actually more than that. You have to do that to first get on the flight. Then you have to do that when you first get here. And then after a week, you have to do it again. This is actually my 5th or 6th COVID test altogether. That went really far back. Anyway, that's done. If I'm negative, then in a few days, I actually get to leave my beautiful prison. All right, back in my room. COVID test is done. How do you guys like my shoes? Blue's a good color. What is the point of this video? The point of this video is to share my experiences of coming to Thailand and how you can come to Thailand too during the ASQ quarantine, assuming it even exists by the time you watch this video. It's the one thing about Thailand, man. I'm very sensitive to mosquito bites, and there are plenty of mosquitoes here. I knew when I was coming to Thailand, I didn't want to deal with bad coffee. So I brought my own coffee. This company, Devotion, probably the best coffee company that I've had. I guess what makes them special is they put on the date of the roasting, but they also have the date of the green, like when they bring it in from Brazil or wherever you're getting the stuff from. Anyway, I'm gonna make this now, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it because this is whole bean. I have to grind it. So it looks like an everyday large drinking flask, but this top part comes off. This part comes off, and you do have a drinking component here. So there you go, there's your drinking component. But what I'm really excited about is this. So here is the filter, coffee filter. There is your burr grinder. So cool. And then, up at the top, we have the hopper where the whole beans go in, and then we have the motor. Lock it. Come on, that's pretty cool, isn't it? To have fresh ground coffee that you can just bring around. You bring a bag, you bring the thermos. The only thing it can't do is boil the water. Ground coffee, fresh. And just give it a little stir. It's a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't really affect much. But I'll tell you what, this coffee that's a tiny bit cloudy is infinitely better than the coffee made here at the hotel, or maybe even anywhere in Thailand, just because this is so fresh from the source and also completely fresh ground and roasted within 2 weeks. So yeah, this coffee, yeah, that's the view. All right, so the other things on the docket today, I actually have to do some work now, but I still want to talk to you guys about my process of getting into Thailand, the requirements, and how to do it if you want to come here as well. I'll drink my coffee and catch up with you guys soon. So second COVID test is negative, which means I can actually leave my room and go get dinner at the Riverside Terrace. So we'll go downstairs, we'll do that, and I'll go through all the documentation that you're gonna need to get here and suffer too. So see you soon.
Actually, let's go.
Right, so this is the first time I get to eat dinner outside of my room, basically 2 weeks. So I'm much relieved to be able to be out of my room, but I didn't expect that it would affect me mentally this much. I actually have a very good friend of mine who is in prison right now, and all I can think is, you know, I'm living in luxury here. The room is really nice, the food is great, I have some limited range of freedom, and that's putting a toll on me. I can't imagine. So if you want to come to Thailand, be aware that the ASQ is harder than you think. So to get into Thailand, there's a whole bunch of stuff you need to do, and you need to do it first. You need to do it before you even get your visa to Thailand. So the timeline sucks because there's always a chance that you spend all your money on all this and then your visa doesn't get approved. You need a fit to fly certificate. You need a negative COVID test within 72 hours of your flight, which is impossible to get, and I'll tell you why later. You need insurance up to $100,000 in case you get COVID. You need a visa. You need a certificate of entry from the Thai embassy. You need a declaration form. You need your airplane booked ahead of. Wow, thank you very much. So this is the first meal, again, at a restaurant where I can choose something that's not a pre-made setup. You need your bank account, printouts of your bank account to show that you have money. I don't know if I mentioned you need to book your flight ahead of time and book your ASQ like this. And there's a list of ASQs online on the Thai website, I believe. But basically, an ASQ is a hotel that is specially set up with the government to be a quarantine. So you prepay your food, you prepay for a COVID test while you're here, you prepay for all the stuff that goes into keeping you in quarantine. It's all part of your ASQ. Obviously, you need your passport. You need to submit photos of yourself from like a CVS, passport photos. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So later, I'll go through the actual like paperwork, item by item, but that's just sort of like the overall. There is a lot of stuff to get into Thailand with the quarantine. Like I said, the biggest tip I have, number one, is to make sure that you just hire someone to help you figure out what to do next.
I have to pay the price to start.
I just got out of my ASQ quarantine and now I'm in a new room. I lucked out because the view they gave me is substantially better than the last room I was in. But what's funny is I can actually see the previous room I was in from my view. So let me show you this. So Bangkok, right? So that building right there is where I was staying, facing the water at the second floor. That's the complex right there, the Avantara ASQ complex. So there's 2 buildings. Actually, I guess there's 3, although I think that's a parking garage right there. Maybe not, I don't know. And yeah, this is the view from up here. It's really nice. All right, I'm here with my friend David, which some of you might know, but this is the outro. So yeah, I'm gonna be in Thailand for a few months. We're gonna be doing a bunch of videos coming up, including Bitcoin videos, food videos, blog videos, a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of matcha stuff. Anyway, subscribe if you want. If not, that's okay too. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.